A Tyson's food processing plant now in Indiana, we've learned today, is set to close next year. This is all part of an effort there to cut costs.
The facility opens to boost Tyson Foods' automation and robotics efforts in food production. The Tyson Manufacturing Automation Center officially opened in downtown Springdale today.
Tyson Foods is shutting down U.S. plants, and Trump's tariffs may be to blame. Thousands of jobs gone. Entire towns gutted. What was supposed to bring jobs back to America just pulled the rug out from under the heartland. The fallout is worse than anyone expected. Should the government step in when companies like Tyson abandon small towns? Let us know in the comments. Perry, Iowa. The town, once anchored by a thriving Tyson pork plant, woke up to an email. One line changed everything. Plant closed. Effective immediately. No warning. No plan. Hundreds of workers who gave decades to that factory were suddenly jobless. And that was just the beginning. What caused this chaos? The very policies that promised to protect them. One email wiped out decades of security in a single morning. Trump's tariff strategy was pitched as patriotic. Protect American jobs, he said. But by 2025, Tyson, America's largest meat producer, had shut down over a dozen plants. In Missouri, in Indiana, and in Arkansas, towns built around these plants were left with silence and shattered paychecks. The cost of making things in America had skyrocketed because tariffs didn't just punish foreign companies, they punished the people Trump promised to help. Take Dexter, Missouri. Tyson's poultry facility was the town's heartbeat. Gone. 683 jobs. Erased. And it didn't stop there. The grain supplier lost its biggest client. Diners closed. The hardware store? Gone. Even the school district had to cut back. All because the domino fell at the top, and everything else followed. When a factory dies, a whole town can die with it. Tyson didn't just pull out of one town, they retreated across the map. They closed in Perry, in Noel, in Corydon. Places Trump won again and again. Places he promised to lift up. But in 2025, those same voters saw the opposite. Rising prices, no jobs, and empty plants. Trump said his tariffs would bring factories home. But for companies like Tyson, it just brought pressure, and then retreat. The heartland got hit hardest by the policy meant to save it. Have you or someone you know been impacted by a plant closure? Tell us your story in the comments. Your voice matters. And don't forget to like and subscribe to help more people see this. Let's look behind the scenes. Tyson's costs didn't just rise, they exploded. Steel tariffs made refrigeration units more expensive. Aluminum duties hit grain storage and packaging. Transportation? More costly. Feed? Scarce and overpriced. Tyson's solution wasn't innovation, it was elimination. Instead of investing at home, they pulled out and cut jobs. And while workers stood outside shuttered plants, Tyson's CEO, Donnie King, took home $12 million. That's nearly 300 times what the average employee earned. At the same time, Tyson was raking in over $3 billion in federal aid and subsidies. So while families scrambled to feed their kids, the company that abandoned them was cashing in on taxpayer dollars. Corporate welfare paid for with working-class pain. Small farmers weren't spared either. In Missouri, independent chicken growers like Sean Hinkle built new barns on Tyson's request. Then Tyson left. Contracts canceled, chickens unsellable, bankruptcy looming. Some farmers tried to sell off their animals. Others were forced to destroy their flocks. These weren't bad businessmen. They were betrayed partners. Even schools felt the blow. In Kansas, lunch programs relying on Tyson protein had to cut portion sizes or raise lunch prices. Some cafeterias dropped meat entirely. Grocery stores in rural towns slashed hours or closed. And parents, already struggling with inflation, were now paying more for less. The impact of tariffs hit lunch trays and dinner tables alike. Supporters of Trump's tariffs often point to the steel industry as a win. Yes, some mills reopened. But at what cost? Steel prices rose 35% above global rates, making U.S. goods less competitive. Companies like Tyson didn't expand. They consolidated. What was billed as protection became isolation. Tariffs built walls, not factories. Trump promised a revival. What he delivered was retreat. Tyson didn't bring jobs back. They walked away from the very towns that trusted those promises. And while boardrooms celebrated cost efficiency, families across America faced foreclosure, hunger, and fear. But the story doesn't end there. Tyson is still reviewing more plants. More closures could be next. Will the next town survive the storm? Or vanish in the name of profit?